Hello, everybody. I'm Ollie,
And I'm Jess.
and we're judging nerd culture. So we're here today to talk about the last thing we saw before the apocalypse, Bloodshot.
Yeah.
Yep. And this one is just a run-of-the-mill comic book movie. Not another Marvel and DC one, though. This one is Valiant Comics, which is more of the same, if I'm being quite honest.
This one is particularly special because it stars Vin Diesel.
Good old Vin.
Well, I mean, I guess he is also Groot, but this one, he's the hero. You know what I mean?
Yeah. He speaks.
I mean, Groot is the hero, but
Yeah,
in
but
this one he has the stage to himself.
Mm-hmm. And he says at least 10 more lines. He does as Groot.
At least.
At least. This is actually, I think, one of my favorite Vin Diesel movies in a while. To be fair, though, he's just been making, Fast and the Furious movies for the past 20 years.
Which, when the new one comes out, we will go see.
Oh, yeah.
And we'll talk about.
It's not going to be good, but it's going to be great.
It's going to be a good movie to just watch.
Mm-hmm.
Probably not for plot.
Definitely not for plot. I swear to God, there was a scene in the trailer where someone caught a car while car surfing. I remember that with my eyes.
Well, that's not that's not what we're talking about.
Right. Back it up.
And now we're talking about Bloodshot.
Bloodshot.
This character is any character you'd expect to be played by Vin Diesel.
Yep.
I know that while we were watching the movie, we realized Vin Diesel has two characters. He has this Bloodshot, Fast and the Furious, like family, strong, brooding man. And then he has very soft, heartwarming, childlike characters who only speak two words.
Yeah, there's either these characters or your Iron Giant and your Groots.
Yes.
It's very weird that this is what he's been typecasted into, these two roles.
These two roles. But he does them well.
Yeah. I mean, we obviously brought up Fast and the Furious, but no one ever talks about Riddick and the Chronicles of. But
they're good. They're fun.
They are definitely a spectacle for sure. I remember watching Chronicles of Riddick and not even knowing that there was a prequel to that movie.
Yeah. Riddick is definitely its own thing. Like its own genre, its own theme.
Mm-hmm. But it's another one of these. Vin Diesel is like brooding.
Oh yeah, and he's like in Riddick, he's even more brooding.
Oh yeah,
like he's like mysterious and he'll
which is
beat
weird.
You up.
Yeah, which is weird because I think this backstory is more depressing than his Riddick backstory. His Riddick one is just like I was an orphan or something. I don't know. It was nothing.
It's been like 12 years since I've seen Riddick, so
yeah, it's been a long time. But this one, I'm gonna say, is one of my preferred. Like Riddick was fun. I kind of like this one more.
I'd rather watch Riddick. That's more interesting to me. This one it was very predictable.
That's true. You could see things coming from a mile away.
I guess maybe in parts of Riddick it's predictable, but it's more interesting, and it was like for its time, it was kind of unique and like.
I'll give you this. It's a very unique world. Mm-hmm. It's as if it was like watching one of those Alien versus Predator movies, except the characters that were Alien and the Predator were both Vin Diesel. Mm-hmm. Just he was on an alien world. It has a very different feel. It's very unique. This is definitely more on the line.
You know what just came to mind?
What?
That Vin Diesel would be a very good character in Blade.
Ooh, yeah.
Like, either as Blade?
No.
Like, I don't know.
That's
like Blade's cousin.
That's one of 4 black characters in Marvel. You can't do that.
Don't come at me. I'm not like...
Okay. Fair enough.
I'm just saying that he's the same personality type.
Oh no, him and Wesley Snipes' Blade, same person basically.
Yeah.
I would love for them to meet and just brood at each other.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I just thought about it, and I don't know why he's not a character in the Blade movies.
Yeah, well, I mean, they already got...
Like, when they got that in Blade 2, when they got that group of vampire hunters together...
Well, he would have been a great one.
One of them should have been Vin Diesel.
Mm-hmm. But instead, they had Ryan Reynolds. Or was that number 3?
Also, it's, I don't know. In number 5? I don't know. Vin Diesel, is that his real name?
God, I don't know.
Is his real last name Diesel?
Did he just get really muscular one day and be like, my last name is Diesel now?
I don't know.
Or do people call themselves Diesel when they're really ripped because of Vin Diesel?
I mean, that's very possible. Or maybe he's just like Harry Styles. Like, you just happen to be born with a celebrity name.
Maybe. I could just Google it. We could just Google it right now. But I don't want to, destroy that mystique about it.
I feel like it is Diesel. Like, it's longer than Vin. Like, it's probably like Vincent or something.
Oh, yeah.
But
I'm doing it. I'm going to break the mystique.
Oh, you could just type in Vin Diesel.
I don't even know how to... That's not right.
Okay, Ollie just typed, what is Vin Diesel's real name? But, he spelled Vin Diesel V-I-N, which, correct enough. D-I-S-E-A-L-S. 1.
Okay.
That's like any gas station.
I'll admit I fucked up.
And also...
I wrote D.
No
Seal.
apostrophe?
Yep. Also, so far off from Vin Diesel. That is not even close to his real name.
I wonder why he... Hold on a second. We will
snip and bit
Or
this.
should we just not tell people his name? Leave it a mystery for them to find out. If you want to ruin it, if you want to ruin the mystique of Vin Diesel's, if it's real or not, go for it. But I don't want to do that to you. So let's see. Okay, so why did he change his name?
I don't know.
I'm not seeing why he changed his name.
That's so far away from Vin Diesel. Dear God.
Oh my gosh, his mom is an astrologer? Okay, so we're learning a lot about Vin Diesel on this episode. Learn with us. The more you know.
Well, I want to read this. Diesel has stated that he is of ambiguous ethnicity.
So he doesn't even know.
He stated that. What does that mean?
Oh, okay. Hold on. At age 17 and already supporting a well-honed physique, he became a bouncer at some of New York's hippest clubs to earn himself some extra cash. It was at this time he changed his name to Vin Diesel. So did he change it to sound more intimidating?
Oh, that's 100% it.
Or just to sound cooler?
I think he was trying to I'm Vin Diesel. I'm tough. You don't get past me. I'm the bouncer.
I wonder how he came up with it. Because, Diesel, obviously, he's heard that word before. But Vin, obviously there's also Vinny and Vincent and all those things. But I just wonder,
where did it come from?
Yeah. Was he scrolling through top baby names? Or was he just
There's no way Vin was ever a top baby name.
Oh, Vincent.
Yeah. Oh, what baby?
I'm sorry. So, okay, I watched the movie. Allie does most of the, deeper research when it comes to these things. I like to know actors' names and details about the movie we're watching. But when it comes to, actually researching the thing, especially when it comes to comics, that's more Ollie's thing. And so I'm looking at the IMDb right now is it IMDb?
No, that's just Wiki.
Okay, the Wiki for Bloodshot. And on the side, it has, a list of his abilities. And, it's just the usual stuff and whatever I was aware of. But at the very bottom, it says, formally, access to hard core implants. And, core as in, military core. But also, hard is all capital and separated like it's an acronym for something.
I mean, it's definitely an acronym for something. I don't know what.
Hardcore implants. So whoever made this comic, we thank you because it gave Vin Diesel work and he's great. But also,
I mean, he was just... Let's be honest.
You're just having a good old time. You know what? That's what counts. You just have fun when you write, you know?
Oh, no,
you want to write something fun.
I was looking through the plot synopsis of, like, the actual comic book, and the writers of this have been taking the piss for years now. Just nonsense.
Well. So, I'm sorry. This, real quick. I put 2 of those little packs of, like, energy drink juice powder in here instead of just one. And just one is normally pretty, like...
Potent,
I guess. Like, it's not super sweet, but it's, like, tart, kind of. And so 2 of them is something to get used to. Anyway. Continuing on.
Yeah, there's just so much nonsense in the actual comic legend that is Bloodshot that it felt like maybe it was something that they took seriously in the 90s, but anytime after that, they were just like, well, that was a thing they did. I guess we have to continue to do that or whatever. It's so serious and absurd that it has to be a mockery. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, it's not one of their more serious ones. They're having fun with it.
Yeah, or it's too serious. I don't know. Like the image, the wiki image for Bloodshot is him bleeding over an American flag with 2 guns and just stoically. And I'm like, oh dear fuck, what is this?
It's a metaphor.
It's a metaphor.
I guess. I don't know what for, but it's a metaphor.
But anyways, let's get back to this nonsense for just a quick minute. Bloodshot is a comic book character from Valiant Comics. Valiant Comics started up in 1989. It was actually started by one of the old Marvel leads, but he dipped the fuck out and started his own comic line, which has done pretty well. Like, it's one of the bigger ones. It's around the same, I would say, stratum as like Dark Horse or Image, where it's not the big 2, but you've heard of it, or you've seen a comic of it, even if you don't actually know that you have. And that's good. The thing is, though, apparently within 10 years, they went through 4 different owners and bankrupted X many times and all sorts of nonsense. So they've had a tumultuous time.
Yeah, it just seems really hard to start up your own comic or book publishing sort of business.
Oh yeah, the comic publishing world is a hellscape.
There's so many different comics out there. It's like, it's hard to be original.
Yeah, and it's hard to be relevant. Considering there's the big 2 with Marvel and DC, like, that is already a thing you have to deal with. And you're not going to be able to compete with them. And 2, they're not doing great on the comic side. Comics are not selling. Like, it's just not a thing that's popular in this day and age, despite the things that come from it being popular.
Yeah, well, like, not being an old crotchety lady, but, like, people go online most of the time.
Oh, yeah.
They don't go to a bookstore or a comic book store and look through the stuff and find what they want. They just go online, or they do it illegally. But the point is, they don't need to buy stuff anymore. Like, you can buy books and comics online, but it's very easy to find them for free on shady sites.
And if you do try to buy them online, like, the model that comics have has always been a, like, pretty pricey per issue sort of deal. Like, it's not a sustainable hobby for many people. So, like, unless things change with the way people interact with comic books and the way the comic book industry tries to sell itself, maybe you should try to do a more Netflix-esque couple dollars a month, and here's all the comics we have and all their updates or whatever. But until they do something different,
it'd have to be online.
Yeah, until they up the accessibility and lower the the cost of the hobby, there's not going to be a whole lot of growth.
Yeah. People just prefer, like, media outlets, media ways to connect that way. Like, the more I talk to people younger than me, now that I'm getting old, I'm 25. Yeah, I'm getting old.
Oh, we're ancient at this point.
But, like, when I was younger, I used to read all the time. Like, I had no friends, and I just read all the time. But also, like, I don't know, I feel like people read more, but also technology wasn't as advanced. But, like, I've worked with people who are younger than me, like 19 or something, and they don't read as much. Like, I'm not saying all younger people don't read, but I've just noticed that more and more people are like, I don't really read. I don't really like reading, or like, it makes me tired, or it's boring, or I just never got into it. So
yeah, or like the format in which people read things has changed drastically. It's a lot less long form novels or whatever, and more short burst little online things, maybe
like written by strangers too, not even like published authors. A lot of times people will go on to, like, what is it, Wattpad or whatever, and like find things written by just randos.
Yeah, I've noticed that a lot with, especially, again, younger generations. And also our generation started doing that as well. But it's definitely taken off with younger people, where it's just like they read short stories that are frequently updated, and they keep reading that way, rather than just like, well, I'm going to read the Grapes of Wrath. Wrath of Grapes. I don't know the name of this book. Grapes of Wrath. There we go.
I've heard of that book. I have never read it.
Why would you want to? It's old and bad.
I don't know.
Someone thinks
I read
it's
The Great Gatsby because I thought, this is old and a classic. So this is something like smart girls read. I want to be one of those girls. And then I read it and I was like,
genuine trash.
why did I read this?
The Great Gatsby is awful. We're so far off.
Yeah. So, Bloodshot. Vin Diesel movie. Super good.
Yeah, it was actually pretty darn good.
That's the end of the podcast. Bye.
Oh no. It was surprisingly good. I'll say that. Like, I went into it expecting just garbaggio, and it was fun. It was good enough. Again, it's about Vin Diesel's character, Bloodshot. His real name is Raymond, possibly. Who knows? Because he's not 100% sure.
That's true. They just call him Ray.
Because a big part of the story is he gets blown the fudge up during some military stuff, in which his wife
was... the first scene. Yeah. Or the first couple scenes.
It was like the intro bit. After some military stuff, he gets kidnapped and his wife gets killed, and all this bad stuff happens, and he also gets murdered. But luckily for him, capitalism has elevated some young inventor man to the...
I wouldn't call him young.
No, you're right. Some very, very middle-aged man.
Yeah.
To a level of obscene wealth in which he can replace all of Vin Diesel's blood with tiny nanobots.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they've got other people at the facility who have gotten prosthetics and different sort of implants from this company. What's it called?
I forgot.
Yep. Okay. So like there's a soldier who lost his eyesight, but they implanted like robotic eyes. They look like normal eyes, but they're like glazed over, and he can see like everything. Yeah.
He also has like little eyes attached to like his shirt, little camera eyes everywhere. Yeah. So he has like a full 360 view.
Like, he is one of my favorites, but having his implant has to be nauseating.
Oh yeah.
And then there's the true American soldier boy, who unfortunately lost his legs, and he got prosthetics that just make him like super fast and like hardcore parkour, like
Yeah, which always weirds me out, like, because they're not wheels. They're just prosthetic, like, thigh down.
Yeah, but the feet are very... I mean, the whole thing is metal. Yeah. And so, like, he can't feel it. And skidding to a halt isn't going to bother him.
I know. I understand that. I'm just saying, like, I feel like I still wouldn't have... Like, if I got magic prosthetic legs tomorrow, I still wouldn't have the cardio to run for more than, like,
well, yeah, but the
minutes.
First scene you see him in, he's on a treadmill.
Yeah, that's true.
And he's constantly on the treadmill once you figure out what's happening.
That's true. All I'm saying is his glutes are choice.
His personality and... character, trash.
Yep.
And then you've got the kind of the love interest.
Yeah, like
we're both like,
well, they imply like romantic tension. Like she's the only like
which
character.
It's surprising, like that Vin Diesel doesn't get with the hot chick. You know?
Yeah. No, they do not get together. That is 100% true.
Yeah, which is.
Astounding. She is much younger than him, character-wise, I believe, and also as an actual actress in person.
Yeah,
but
I mean, he's ancient. Probably. I feel like he's older than I think he is. He looks to me when I see him, he looks like he's maybe 40, but in real life he's probably
like 50-something, 60. Yeah.
But like.
Honestly, actors like that always have this ageless factor. It's nonsense. Yeah. But yeah, he doesn't get with her, but they do imply a romantic tension throughout the movie, which might have something to do with the fact that the plot of this story, which, spoiler alert, in case anyone's really aching to watch this unspoiled someday. The plot is he, after getting revived by this corporation, with all the nanobots that stitch his body back together whenever it gets blown up, have been using him to kill some people by using the nanobots to give him false memories and all this stuff. And in order to sort of get things started, every time that they reset his brain to the next target, they use her as sort of like the initiator to sort of start his vendetta mission to kill the next person, because they always rewrite who in his mind killed his wife in that little pre-story that we watched.
Yes.
And she is always the linchpin of that, and it like that in itself, that little getting him ready for that part of his story makes it, she's purposely trying to act like a love interest. So that's interesting. Maybe in fact she has no romantic interest in him,
but she still cares about him because she's pretended to kind of be something for so long that you're gonna have feelings. And she also just seems like not a trash person.
Yeah, like she feels bad. Like they've duped him for a long while, and she feels like shit about it. I mean, she should. They all should.
Well, the only reason she's still there is because she has to be. Otherwise, she would have left a long time ago.
Her prosthetic is a breathing apparatus and lung configuration. She apparently got her throat all sorts of fucked up, and they replaced it with just a breathing hole that's mechanical, machined, technologified. God help me. It's improved.
Mechanically?
Yeah, I don't know. It's upgraded so that it can...
I didn't understand.
I don't know what
word you were looking for.
I don't think it exists. I don't... But it's an upgraded throat, essentially, where she can breathe through her chest and absorb all sorts of toxic things, and it won't kill her. She doesn't get affected by any gases, things like that. Which, of the 4 powers, least good. Although she can just breathe underwater.
Yeah.
Cool. But not infinite regeneration, mega reflexes, or run forever.
If something goes wrong, the other guys, one won't be able to see and the other one maybe won't be able to walk for a little while, but she'll die.
Yeah, she just dies. Like, that's awful.
Yeah.
I feel bad for her. And so, yes, along with all of the things that have been going on, she feels bad about whatever. She also can't leave, because if she tries, the leading, I don't know, scientist dude, CEO guy, can just turn off her lungs, which, again, bad.
Yeah.
Forcing her to continue this whole charade. I need help. And that's the whole crux of the movie, is just him going through these sequential hits on these other people, her feeling bad about it, and them trying to figure out a way to not let this continue forever. Which all comes down to one character. One beautiful character. Winston. I don't remember his character's name, but it was Winston.
I don't remember either. Okay, Lamorne Morris, and he plays Wilfred Wiggins.
Wilfred Wiggins. Wilfred Wiggins, not Wagons.
Did I say Wagons?
You said Wagons.
That's what it says.
It says Wiggins.
It says Wagons.
Well, they fucked up.
Like, I believe you that it's Wiggins, but that says Wagons. Wikipedia's wrong. Don't trust the internet. Don't trust everything you read on the internet. Read a book. But also don't trust everything you read in a book. Don't trust anyone.
I'm dying. Okay. So yeah, the big climactic plot change and like trajectory change of this movie comes from Wilfred. I was gonna say Winston again. Comes from Wilfred, as he's the next smart guy, I guess, who can help Bloodshot sort of get control of himself.
And let's be honest, if you've ever seen New Girl, Wilfred Wiggins sounds like a stupid made-up prank name that Winston Bishop would have come up with. And when you watch this movie, if you are a fan of New Girl, all you can see is Winston doing a weird British accent, pretending to be this, like, tech genius, and it's all a big prank.
It's just a big prank.
At the end of the movie, you see Wilfred going home to New York. Was it New York?
I don't know. They're in like a RV.
Ollie. New Girl.
Oh.
Is New Girl in New York?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I think so.
LA. No.
It's New York. Or Chicago.
That's LA.
It's New York. Is it LA?
Yeah,
because he's a model.
Yeah.
Is it? I don't know. Anyway. At the end of the movie, you see Wilfred going into that apartment and just saying, like, oh, prank guys, I don't know, I became a tech genius and helped a murderous, vengeful, bald man assassinate a bunch of people and, I don't know, save the world, I guess. Prank on you.
Or was Winston the prank all along?
Interesting.
We cannot.
Because when it comes to Winston, his pranks are not pranks. They're just things that happen.
They're just evicting your friends.
Yeah, they're just things that happen, like getting married. Pranked. How is that a prank? Because we got married.
Hey, in October, you want to pull a prank on everyone and get married?
I'm not really into pranks.
Oh. God, we need to move on. So anyways, Wiggins is a big part of the rest of the story, as he is a tech genius who can help Bloodshot sort of regain control of himself and sort of figure out what's actually going on. Because, and this is a weird plot hook of the movie, which I'm not sure if it was in the comics, I never read this, but apparently, in creating the source code for all of Bloodshot's little nanobots, they used open source code from Wiggins that he published on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was some sort of Linux operating system.
Yeah, so don't cheat. Okay? Just figure it out yourself.
Yeah, because apparently, once they did that, Wiggins just had full access to
it was his own code.
Apparently. So yeah, he got in there, fucked everything up for him, and then good old Vinny D had the opportunity to just wreck shit.
Yeah, he had, like, full control of himself by then.
Yeah. And when he realizes all what's going on, he decides to, murder leg guy. This fuck leg guy.
Yeah, he's just garbage.
He's just garbage.
Like, even when the movie starts, and even if you have, like, an inkling that he's a bad guy, you don't like him. Mm-hmm. Or if you have an inkling that, he's a good guy, he's just the way he is, you don't like him. Because, like, he's your cousin from, like, Kentucky who joined the military and came back thinking, I don't know, that he's so cool and, like...
Are you thinking about a specific cousin there?
No, I don't have any cousins that moved to Kentucky and joined the military.
Okay.
I have cousins that moved to Kentucky, but I don't have... no one joined the military. I don't know.
But no, you're right. He's just such a goon.
Yeah, and, like, all he talks about is, like, being a soldier or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Also, he puts gum everywhere. And fuck that guy.
And he wears, like, that camouflage hat. And he probably folds it up and stuffs it in his back pocket. Like all the guys I went to high school with. Like, that's probably... Like, it's fine if you went to the military. I'm not getting down on people who went to the military, okay?
You're
but,
just
like, if I...
calling out people whose aesthetic is...
Yeah, it's weird to have the military aesthetic.
Yeah, like, if you're on base, cool. If you're, like, coming back and forth, cool. If you're just home and your aesthetic
is... like wearing camouflage?
I don't...
Anyway, I sound very rude, but...
You're going off. Are you sure that's just an energy drink?
I know, I'm very tired and also very hyper. But it's not like I don't know, joined... I'm trying to think. I'm the worst person to get into, like, a fight with, because I never fight back, because I don't know what to say. But, I don't know. You joined a weird cult, and then you're like, I like this aesthetic. That's what the military is.
I mean, no, yeah, you're right. I'm not gonna argue that.
Ba-bam.
Boom.
We like guns and camouflage.
Political opinions in this your podcast.
Boom. Okay. We're gonna get shot.
So anyways, he wakes up, remembers who he is, fucks up leg dude. Poor eyes.
We should never do an episode when I'm tired. Because I say things that's gonna get us killed.
Yep. Poor eye guy falls off.
Eyes guy.
He falls off the side of the building.
Like, I didn't want him to die, and he was such a nice person. He was such a good person, and, like, he didn't have a lot of lines or anything, but his vibe was very, like, I'll be your friend, and, like, if I am your friend, I'm gonna be super loyal and, like, help you no matter what. I don't know. He just felt good and right. And he was really cute. And then he died.
He was also, manipulating Bloodshot for, like, years.
Yeah. But so was the girl.
Yeah, but she literally couldn't leave.
That's true. I mean, who says the eyes guy couldn't leave?
Yeah, I mean, he definitely would have...
They could have taken his eyes away.
Yeah. And probably just killed him. Yeah. Let's be honest.
But, yeah, I was disappointed that he didn't... Because, like, I thought he was going to end up helping... Bloodshot and the girl, but he ended up just being another little minion, another
Goon.
I was really disappointed that he didn't end up helping and that he died. Because he would have been really helpful, especially with his ability. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, Wilfred is a better sidekick anyway.
Yeah, much better supporting character. Mm-hmm. And KT, which is the name of the lady.
Oh, yeah. God, I blacked that out. That's so stupid.
Because it's not Katie, it's KT.
It doesn't even tell you what it's short for.
No, it is short for Katie, apparently, according to the IMDb.
Yeah, it says Katie, KATIE/KT.
Maybe her name is Katie?
And she was like,
something.
I don't.
Katie Thompson.
I don't like the way Katie sounds. Call me KT with a hard T.
It's a real hard T. But yeah. With Wilfred's help, Bloodshot manages to get back, fights off these goons, and eventually just slowly stomps his way over to the main bad guy and blows him the fuck up. At the end of the whole story, Wilfred wakes Bloodshot back up and is like, hey, we're good, we're all saved, the girl's outside, she's alive, I'm alive. Also, that issue you had where if you died too many times, your nanites would just, stop having power and you would actually die. I fixed that.
It's ridiculous that his little nanobot things need to be recharged. That's hilarious to me. That he needs to plug in.
Okay, well, one, they did fix that at the end. Wilfred fixed it. Winston got him.
Yeah.
But two, that makes more sense than not having to. They're just running forever. They're little robots that rebuilt his body.
I guess. It's just silly.
I feel like that needs to be...
I feel like he would... Instead of them running out of power, it'd make more sense for them just to, die.
And they just make more?
Yeah. Because when, let's say he gets his arm shot off or cut off or something, then all of the robots that were in that arm are now dead because they're not inside him.
Well, in the movie, it seemed like they sort of just came back. They was like, all right, gotta find the rest of the body. All right, here we go,
That's
reforming.
True. Yeah. So I don't know. They seem kind of organic though.
Yeah,
it's like they have brains, but I mean they're AI, I guess.
Maybe they run off the food he eats now. Maybe they can actually just create fuel from actual organics things. Who knows? Yeah. Point is, he never has to recharge again. If that makes any sense, who knows? Who cares? It's Bloodshot. But we've gone so far over our intended time. We're on to 40 minutes. So let's wrap this up with just a couple of at least one favorite thing and one thing you did not like.
My favorite thing was Winston. It was Lamorne Morris. I don't know. Everyone was so brooding and so macho and angsty and sad, and then Wilfred was just there, and he was
just there,
happy, and he was making jokes, and I get that was his character, that was the point of his character, but it really just made you realize how much everybody else was so down in the dumps.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree. Mm-hmm. He was, including Bloodshot, he was the best character. Mm-hmm. He's just more fun. It seemed like he was in a different movie. Mm-hmm.
Oh, you know what other part I really did like?
What?
I liked the part, I don't remember who he was talking to. It might have been KT. But when Ray or Vin Diesel was like, I'm in control now. That really got to me. I thought that was funny. Just because it was so expected for him to say those words. I knew he was going to say those words. And then he said those words. and he said it in a very, like, gruff, like, angry voice, and it was really funny.
Like, it seemed like a moment that almost should have been a, like, comedic point, but straight-laced.
Yeah, it was supposed to be, like, super serious, like, the pinnacle of, like, him about to go beat up the big bad guys. And it didn't make me feel like, yeah, let's do this. It made me giggle. It made me laugh. Something I didn't like, it was a little predictable. And, like, the twists that it had, you saw coming. So they weren't really twists. They were just kind of there as well. Like his wife still being alive, because you knew they were rewriting his memories anyway. And it never told you what happened between them.
I mean, it wasn't important anymore.
No, it wasn't, but like...
No, I don't know, I'm just saying, like, as far as the plot goes, I was just like, oh, here's the twist. Well, let's move on, I guess. Like, it was just so not important.
And those guys, the company being the bad guys, like, obviously they're bad guys. They're an extremely rich tech company. Look at this Guy Pearce plays the main head scientist. Come on. You see him come on screen, and Ali, immediately, he turned to me and he goes, he's the bad guy, right? Like, yeah, of course he's a bad guy. Like, yeah, sure, he gave all these soldiers really neat prosthetics and implants that help them survive and, like, even advance them, but
he also literally admitted, I bought these soldiers who had been blown up so that I could do these experiments on them.
Yeah.
And now they're better off, I guess. Yeah. But, like, that's evil.
Yeah.
That's bad.
I mean, he was using Vin Diesel to kill people he didn't like. Like
co-workers who had worked on this nanite
and he was
thing
like,
with him.
But it's, like, he found it weirdly inspirational. Excuse me, the kind of rage and vengeance Vin Diesel felt towards these people who he had thought killed his wife. It was weird.
Yeah, he was always just like, oh God, I love this. I love Bloodshot so much. Yeah. Look at how serious and tense he is.
Look how angry he gets. Look how he kills everyone and doesn't care for his own mortality.
Look how determined he is to murder everyone who murdered his wife. Like, no fucking shit. If you wake up with godlike superpowers and remember who murdered your wife, you'd go murder them too. Like,
yeah. Anyway, what's one of your favorites and one of your least favorites?
All right. So, mine. I'm going to go with least favorite first, just because I want to end on a happy note. Well, we'll see. Least favorite. I would have to say, I didn't like the ending. I thought it was just kind of like...
Kind of meh?
Yeah. Like, cool, he caught a grenade and exploded it and everything went black and then he got brought back to life. But, like, I don't know. It felt like Ray... Bloodshot hadn't really changed. Like, he never, like, with all of the being rebooted and all of the being whatever else, he never got a chance to just grow as a character or even become a character.
Yeah, you never felt that, like, completion or, like, that progress in a character.
Yeah, because they kept resetting him. He couldn't. He was only, like, himself for the first chunk of the movie, in which that was determined to be a simulation, and the last chunk of the movie.
Last, like, 5-10 minutes of the movie.
So, like, the entire hour and a half in the middle, he wasn't even doing anything. I mean, you know, character-wise. So it was just kind of disappointing, like, where it ended for me. I
agree.
Yeah. I think it would have been, you know, I don't mind that it ended with, like, hey, you're hanging out with Winston... Wilfred now. Wilston. Him and Wilston.
Wilston. Just call him Wilston. It's fine.
Him and Wilfred are bros now, and they're gonna, you know, do whatever they're gonna do. Superhero shit, you know? And that's cool, fine, whatever. But it would have been more interesting if there was, I don't know, more moments of him, even independently of KT, just having glimpses of, like, who he is, or even having any amount of, like, who was I really? Not just, like, who I think I was, but, like, I could be anyone. What does that mean? literally any introspections. But I can't speak today, and I'm gonna die. But yeah, any self-reflection just wasn't there, and that was upsetting because like this whole character really has a lot of potential for who am I, what does it mean to be myself. Like, if you lose all your memories, are you still you? Who knows? They could have had any of that. It's not even deep thinking, it's just thinking, but it didn't do it. And that's
thinking.
It is. So like that was a little lackluster. That was disappointing. But ending on a high note, which is actually not super high note because it was kind of sad, is the very beginning. That first chunk where he's just military man. Admittedly, it's a simulation again, but he's just military man fighting in the war, and then him and his wife get kidnapped and whatever else. Like, that first chunk, that's some of the best acting I've seen from Vin Diesel in a while. The rest of it was the usual. But, like, there was some sincere emotion when his wife got murdered and all this stuff. Like, it felt more, like, impactful in those first few minutes of the movie than the rest of the entire movie. So I think that was a decent highlight. Mm-hmm. Also, the scene where he gets, like, tortured and his wife gets murdered. The villain in that, which admittedly later on isn't actually even a villain, it's just a corporate dude. Whatever. Is really good. Like, even though it was just, you know, a role that was pretending to be another role, whatever that means, it did a pretty good job of being like a kooky maniacal mania kind of guy. Yeah. It was fun. It was really well acted from beginning to end. It was tense. It was surprisingly emotional. I'm not gonna say I got anywhere, like, I didn't tear up, but there's something sincere. I felt it.
It was, what was it? Martin Axe? He was the first guy to kill Vin Diesel's wife. His name is Toby Kebbell. Kebbell? Yeah. Pretty good actor.
Yeah, he did a great job.
For being the like you said, the quirky, like, killer dude. Like, he entered this freezer in a hat, a real puffy winter coat, shorts, like basketball shorts, and
like slippers or something.
Slippers, yeah. And then he did like a little dance. It was very fun, but also like he was gonna kill you. So
yeah,
like you could feel, like you knew he was no good.
Mm-hmm. It was a very like older Joker style. I'm not talking about like the Joaquin. Like, every Joker has a bit of like, ooh, look, aren't I kooky? But like, old Joker was genuinely like, I'm a fucking clown. I just also have a knife. Mm-hmm. And this was more along the lines of, I'm a fucking buffoon and a clown. I'm gonna butcher your wife.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So yeah, it had that beginning chunk, that ending scene there, had a lot of impact, and I thought it was pretty weighty and pretty well done. Obviously, you can't, make a movie out of just that. But I don't know. I appreciated it. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I personally give this like a 7 out of 10. It was a passing grade for me, and I would want to watch more if I could.
I would give it...
Give what you gotta give it. Do what you gotta do. I'm already well above the curve. The internet's giving it like a 5.
That's what I was thinking. Like a 5 5.75, maybe a 6.
I think
not quite a 6, almost a 6.
Yeah, IMDb is at 5.7.
Hi, yeah, we agree.
Admittedly, I'm above the curve because I'm a comic fan, so this was right up my alley.
Yeah.
So obviously it's gonna appeal to me, and I think Vin Diesel did a better job than usual. Still, like,
Vin Diesel's a great actor.
So yeah, you should definitely...
He should have an Oscar. Just for that one scene.
He should have
am in control. And also, all 15 Fast and the Furious movies? Why doesn't he... Does he have an award? Because he should have an award. Family. Family. I need to go to bed.
It's only 5 o'clock.
Going to bed.
Oh, so yeah, I do recommend watching the movie, but not in theaters. Like, I don't think that's worth.
Yeah, it's probably not worth going to see in theaters. Some of the fight scenes are fun to watch in theater, but...
At least not like an AMC or like a $20 ticket theater.
Yeah.
Go to like, I don't know, not that you're going to be able to for a while, but go to some show,
yeah, I mean,
matinee, $5 ticket.
Buy it on the internet somewhere, and then turn the lights off in your house, turn up the volume, you'll be fine.
Get a $10 projector from Walmart.
It'll be an experience.
Yeah.
Also, I've touched my face a lot during this episode. Don't be like me and touch your face. I did wash my hands, but still don't touch your face. Mm-hmm. Don't touch your face.
All right. Well, that's everything I have to say. We've gone and wasted so much of our time talking about God knows what, and I loved it. This is probably my favorite episode we've done so far.
I think you said that last time.
No, this one is far superior.
So yeah, all I have to say now is I love Vin Diesel, and I wish I was a part of his family, and that he would teach me how to drive fast. Don't touch your face. Wash your hands. Don't buy all the toilet paper. You can shop like a normal person still. I feel like I'm high.
All right. Well, goodbye, everyone.
I'm so tired. Okay, bye. Love you. Mwah.